It's your boy Loyal, and I'm Bird. But today, I want to throw some shit at y'all right now because, you know, they want us to ascend or be the descendants of monkeys. So what do monkeys do? When they got shit, they throw shit. When they got shit to do, they throw shit. So I'm gonna live up to this, title or this identity that they gave us, and I'm gonna throw some shit at y'all today. Transformation of P-Diddy. And I know y'all saw that picture of P-Diddy with the wig, or the video of P-Diddy wearing the wig, right? See, what people don't understand is that Hollywood and everything that happens in Hollywood is fake. Everything in Hollywood is fake. Everything in media, yeah, they'll tell us the truth here and there. They'll throw us a bone here and there. That's just to lock us in to keep us hooked. But the real story is how they dress up in drag every day. They dress up in costume every day. The men, the women. And I know people are saying, well, they all can't be. They all can't be. But see, that's the whole story behind this. See, we think P. Diddy is a womanizer and a homosexual and all that stuff, right? But we don't realize that this might not even be a man. This might not even be a dude. And all them people that he's flaunting as his significant others or his lovers, they might not even be women. I mean, you see how the whole story came out about how all this shit was happening? Now check this shit out. Why wouldn't a person that was abused want to involve law enforcement? Why wouldn't they want to call in the cops? Well, because they got something to hide. The only reason why we found out about this Ventura video was because of people trying to get money, trying to extort people for money, or else they was going to put the information out. And then they end up leaking it anyway. They leaked the shit anyway. So check it out. This is my theory, and I've heard other people say this too, but I'm not going to name no names who said it. But what if the whole story about the Cassie thing was hiding the fact that it was a Filipino transgender, and he was trying to pay her off a long time ago to not spread the secrets? See, y'all don't realize, man, that even though in society homosexuality and gender dysphoria has been an acceptable thing, right? People still despise these people. They still feel like these people are a threat to humanity. So, what a lot of these people are facing is not only scrutiny from their families and other people, but society as a whole. Because whether you believe it or not, this thing hasn't been widely accepted like we think it has. Yeah, it's all over TV, it's all over media, but there's still people large numbers of people that do not trust this, do not trust people that, participate in these acts. And when you can't trust them, then that brings up an environment of I hate to say it, well, I just said it, hate. When you can't trust somebody, eventually you begin hating them because you're always concentrating on the untrustworthiness of them. So this lifestyle is still in the closet. It's still being hidden. So, and this is another thing. Remember all the stuff they had about Biggie Smalls doing videos with transgenders? Come on, man. Put it together. Put it together. All of these guys. How all of a sudden this comes out from anonymous, right? And then Cassie goes to court and wins this big amount of money. For what? Being beat on video? That was the proof right there. But the actual thing is, if she's been done like this for a long period of time, why didn't she come forward? The money that he gave up was almost like to get people to stop talking about what the elephant in the room is. The elephant in the room is not sexual assault, it's discrimination. It's discrimination. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? All of these actors in Hollywood that's pretending to be the opposite sex, if people found out in large numbers, they would feel betrayed. And then they would have to be replaced by new actors, and then that person would be, their whole career would be, in shambles and shit. Because nobody would want to hear, that your action star, for instance, I'm just saying, allegedly, Tom Cruise is a woman. Nobody want to hear that. Tom Cruise been a heartbreaker for women for a long time, man. Women been after Tom Cruise. They've been lusting after Tom Cruise since he came on the screen. Same thing with some of these women actors that these men been lusting after. And that's like a slap in the face after all these years of support, and fan clubs and all this shit. So it makes it seem like, you've been betrayed, but it also makes it seem like something else as well. It makes it seem like somebody stole something from you. When you're a child and you're looking up to these people all your life, all the way up into adulthood, then you come to find out their entire image and everything is fake. People don't take that too kindly. Look at what happened to, and I'm gonna say this, but this is not something against trans or gays, but look at what happened allegedly to John Lennon. There's stories floating around that the reason why he was targeted like that is because somebody found out about his secret. I was saying allegedly. So looking into these people, man, we don't know what's real or what's not. All I'm saying is slow down on the accusations. Slow down on all that shit, because it's a possibility this man, all that shit's gonna get thrown out. All of that shit is gonna get thrown out. P-Diddy is not, I don't think he's gonna get convicted for these charges that they bringing up against this guy. You know why? Because to tell you the truth, if they had something on child trafficking and all that stuff, they would have exploited it by now. All the negative, publicity these agencies are getting. And at the time when this happened, we were pretty much being bombarded with this transgender thing in government and everywhere. Now that we're not being bombarded with it, right? And it's not a big deal to, frown upon homosexuality and, gender dysphoria. It's not and see, that's the thing about frowning up on it. You can still dislike it and accept the person at the same time. It ain't got nothing to do with hate, you know what I'm saying? It's just that that's not the lifestyle that people like. Well, before all of this shit came out, you couldn't even dislike it. You had to fucking love it. They were like, you're not going to tell me I'm not something I am. And you're gonna tell me I am that person. With all of these pronouns and shit, sending people to jail for not calling you the right gender. Man, it was like the normal people, well, I'm gonna say normal, but people were being targeted because they didn't believe things that they were, told because of what they saw. People, if they think you're a woman, right, and they say you're not, then that would be a lie. But if they didn't think you're a woman and they said you're not, that's the truth. That's the truth in their eyes. And my thing is this. You can't make somebody accept you just because you want to be accepted. That's not how it works. Prejudice is not a flaw. Prejudice is a discernment. You gotta have certain prejudices in order to maintain your life. You can't just accept everything and go along with everything. That's just not the way it is. But a couple years ago, they was talking about making laws that you couldn't even identify people for what they were, for what you saw, right? You had to accept what they told you and go along with it. You had people claiming that they were animals, all kind of shit. But now that that's not the focal point of things no more, right? There's a possibility that P-Diddy gonna get off of this shit. He gonna get off. Because it's not discrimination no more. You talking about, it ain't a man beating up a woman, it's a man beating up a man. And see, if all of that came out in court, then people would be thinking like, well, if they lied about that, they could be lying about this entire thing. What's really going on? And you see how far they willing to go for public perception. I mean, starting up pages, doing all this publicity shit. Man, them people are willing to hide this shit no matter what. And all I'm saying is, people are too quick to jump on a pretty face and a pair of breasts. They too quick to jump on that. But time should tell you, or time should have showed you, that you can't trust what you looking at no more. You can't trust what people tell you. There's other things that you got to look into. And I'm just saying, you know, the reason why he went so hard about that and gave up so much money, I mean, 30 million to a billionaire ain't shit. That ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? He'll get that back regardless. But the reason why he jumped in front of that and did that is so the entire case wouldn't go into court and you would have to identify who you were and what you are, and that shit could get public. You know, they try to keep court cases private, but they can't do that shit. And if Cassie would have went up there and had to identify, maybe she wouldn't identify as a she. Maybe her pronoun would have been him and her. I mean, him and he. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody really looking into this shit the way they should be. They looking into child trafficking and all this shit. Maybe it's just a big ruse to hide the fact that these people are not what we think they are. P-Diddy. I'm telling y'all, man, there's some tricky shit going on with these people when you start looking into their background. You can't Google no more. You can't Google people no more. There's always a set information that's out there. But if you put two and two together, for instance, like looking up information about Connecticut, New London, Connecticut, and you start delving into it, there's a lot of secrecy behind the backgrounds of these people. There's a lot of secrecy. They tell us off of face value who these people is, but we ain't looking into it. We're not doing our due diligence, looking into this shit and trying to find out, are these motherfuckers imposters? Are they gender imposters? Because we're looking at them thinking that, for instance, everybody looking at P-Diddy like he was the man back in the day. And then all of a sudden, one video come out, you know what I'm saying? And now he's a shitbag. Now he's the #1 predator of Hollywood. Come on, man. Y'all can't see how images change at the snap of a finger when motherfuckers want to make you something that you probably ain't. To tell you the truth, I think Puff Daddy is a transgender. And Cassie was going to tell that shit. Cassie was going to tell that shit because, hey, she's one too. You know, this is allegations. You know, this is just allegedly what I'm saying. But if you look into this shit, man, we're talking about generations of this stuff, this practice. This is not something that's new. I know it seems like it's new, like we've come into a new age of acceptance. No, man. This shit is older than we think it is. This shit is older than our government. I mean, shit, they even have recollections of this shit in the ancient times, in the Roman times. You know, doing procedures to change the image or the bodies of these people, making eunuchs, you know, turning them into women. I mean, come on, man. It's obvious. You guys think that this shit is just isolated to the fringe, like these are people that have to have this shit done to them because they have some idea. No, this is an actual movement. See, now that we've come into the electronic age, which is not really an age, it's just, you know, us bringing TV from off the wall or on the floor and putting it in our hands and shit. Now that we've gone to that, right? Now people feel like we can make a difference in this environment. And the difference will be, can we change people's perception of what reality is? And they've been doing it for years. Look at the war propaganda. Look at the government propaganda. Look at all of the imagery that they give us and all the stories that they tell us and the limited amount of the way that we have to search for shit. Nobody has any true investigative skills. Google was our investigative skill. Now it's not. You can't trust Google. You can't trust any of this shit. You can't. You gotta form these conclusions on your own. There's no real boots on the ground investigations going on. None. And if a nigga telling you that's what he's doing, he's lying. There ain't none. I mean, how you gonna go and find out somebody's true identity unless you can get into their birth records and all that shit? And how many people have that ability to do that? They don't. So what are they doing? They looking on Google. They looking this shit up on Google. They're not actually trying to find out if this person is who they say it is. I got qualms with all of these so-called actors, singers, and performers, from Whitney Houston all the way to Al Green, all of them fools, man. We have no real idea what they're doing or how they're doing it. We always say they have an agenda, but how are they carrying out these agendas? They control every aspect of our media. They control everything. Even the shit that I'm saying is controlled. Because if YouTube don't want it to be shown, it's not going to be shown. See, that's controlling me. And I can't even say what I want to say. So imagine if they want to pull this shit off right in plain view of everybody, and all they have to do is control a couple media outlets and a background. That's all they have to control. I mean, there was rumors back in the day with the I Love Lucy show saying that Lucy was a man. Lucy! You know what I'm saying? I'm home. That was a dude. And see, look, you can look at the images. See, because there's certain things that they haven't figured out yet. But they're going to figure them out on how to change a human body to make it fully. They've already figured out how to change the brow, how to change the chin, you know, how to manipulate the esophagus to take away the Adam's apple and all that shit. They figured it out. They've got implants for pecs, implants for titties, implants for glutes, implants for fucking, you know, your abs. They got implants for everything. And it's only going to get worse. They already got the bone manipulating techniques for the height, where they can break your bones, adjust them, give you a couple of inches, and now you're taller. And some of these people look weird as fuck, but nobody's saying nothing because they got a dollar sign behind their head. And that's the whole reason why this shit is so successful. You know, we trust shit if there's quantity, not quality. We trust it for quality. If we trust it for quality, we wouldn't have no people on this bitch trustworthy. There would be very few people on this platform that would be trustworthy. But we see a lot of numbers a lot of subscribers, a lot of money, and we're like, man, facts. Facts. You gotta be telling the truth. Because we don't believe large numbers of people can be manipulated at one time. But we forgot, man. Look how they had us, some of the people that's over 30. Look how they had us hiding up under our desk in grade school, expecting to be bombed. Not for just a little while, for years. They had us thinking that, man, at any moment, the atomic bomb, the nuclear bomb can drop, and getting under your fucking desk was gonna save your life. Man, get the hell out of here. Look how they had the whole country afraid of this shit like that. And we can't believe that these people can hide their agenda and gender right in front of your face. Shit. There's a reason why Puffy ain't totally... See, because if he comes out and tells the truth, then they got to drop all the charges. And guess what that's going to do? Make this agency look like a, somebody that's on a ghost hunt. Oh, so we arrested him for beating up another man. It shouldn't be no trafficking if it's a dude. It wouldn't be trafficking. Not unless Cassie was pretending to be a woman, but naturally is a gay man. Then he was being trafficked for what? For homosexual activity. And that would make Puffy and all these guys questionable on what they are, who they are, and how they doing shit. But they're not going to do that. See, they'll let this play out. Because we think Puffy down there in prison. Oh, he in jail. He running to jail. Yeah, he's taking people's phones. Man, they can tell us anything and we'll believe it. They can tell us anything. I see people doing 4, 5, 6 hour streams. Talking about how Puffy is freaking running shit in the prison. He down there in jail getting other people's shit. And, they got to do sting operations on him to get his information. He write down in notebooks. Man, this shit sounds just like a movie. They know we base our life off of movies. There ain't one person on the internet besides myself, right? Because I'm going to give myself credit for this shit. Ain't nobody on the internet besides myself that aren't utilizing movies to prove their points about reality. I don't know how long I've been listening to niggas talk about the Matrix and Neo and, we living in the simulation. Man, come on, bro. You don't think that these people knew that if they make a movie good enough, your dumb ass was gonna believe it? See, Star Wars. Look how people became space fanatics off of Star Wars. And ain't none of that shit true. Ain't none of that shit true. Flying to other galaxies, warp speed, speed of light technology. Come on, man. Death Stars. We have motherfuckers claiming that the moon was a Death Star. All I'm saying is this. If y'all want the real story, y'all need to stop thinking like everybody else. If you want the real truth about what's happening around you, you got to stop thinking like everybody else. As soon as I saw that story about P-Diddy, I knew something was wrong with it. P-Diddy is a trans who's trying to keep his secret. And he's surrounded himself with these people. Even in government, these people are in control of this shit. Even. And ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't care. Ain't nothing wrong with this. Because it's just another system. And why shouldn't you have weird shit happening in these systems? You should. These systems are set up for anybody and anything that believes and don't believe to have a say in what goes on. See, there's no restrictions in the system in which the United States has created. If a human can become a corporation, and a corporation become a human, and you cannot fight a corporation unless you become a corporation, then how in the hell are you going to believe that these people wake up every day and tell the truth? Because you got to believe a lie if you believe a human can become a corporation and a corporation can become a human. These are systems that were set up to make your life a fiction. Something that you would never freaking do in real life. And I'm just saying, man, it's a shame that we keep on falling victim to this shit. We keep on falling victim to the same shit over and over again. See, we'll never come out of this stuff. You got people today that got just a piece of the story with these so-called civil rights leaders back in the day. Just a piece of it. You know, because it was all a game. It was all freaking smoke and mirrors. None of that shit even mattered. All that marching, all of that shit they did, and you still got the same thing you had before all of that shit started. Same thing that's going to happen to this shit with the Indians. All this bullshit about you part of this, you part of that, and the whole story is going to come out that none of it was real. None of it was real. And the same thing applies with all this other shit that we talking about. It makes good news. It makes good comedy. It makes good freaking, it makes it's a lot of time being spent looking at this shit. So it's good at passing the time. But other than that, it's not real, man. What's real is right here, what you listening to right now. That's real. Or what you thinking right now is real. If you know who you are and you know that your story is not made up, then you should be comparing that to every story you hear. And if you can't come to some kind of logical conclusion, then it's not real, man. It's not real. And can't nobody relate to any of these people in Hollywood or any of these people in the Big Apple. Nobody can relate to them. They can pretend that they know or that they live some type of way, but they got so many holes in their story, man, you can't believe shit. Puffy ain't even the person we believe. Sean Combs is just a made-up persona, just like Puff Daddy is. We don't know what these people's true identity is. We don't know what they are or how they got to the place that they are. We can imagine that we did. See, because they keep the industry so secretive, and you got to go jump through too many hoops in order to join. They got to make sure you just as depraved as they are. How far are you willing to carry a lie? Are you willing to carry the lie to the grave? If you are, then you're perfect for that. You're perfect for that lifestyle. Because we got people that are faking their death, faking their gender, faking their life, faking their wealth, faking every fucking thing, faking their children, faking everything, man. But we, as a whole, put so much stock in it that we give them the authority and the power to do the shit. See, I don't hear nobody talking about this. And we know that these guys play around with this gender bending stuff. I ain't hear nobody say nothing about, well, maybe Puffy was beating up, Cassie because Cassie was going to drop a dime on him. Now, how far the dime goes, bang, you could just speculate on that. You can freaking go as far as you want. And 9 times out of 10, that'll be the realest shit you thought of versus listening to the shit that they telling us, human trafficking, child trafficking. Why is it child trafficking? Why is human trafficking and child trafficking against the law for some people, but for the government, they can get away with it for years, for decades? I mean, shit, they just pulled up the most biggest human trafficking scheme on our ass just a few months ago. How 300,000 fucking immigrant children. First of all, how you keep track of that many people, right? 300,000. How you keep track of these people? What, they got somebody sitting up there with a clicker, counting them, how they come through? Or do we got these people actually documented coming through? Meaning that they've signed paperwork and said that they've come through our borders. But the problem is this right here. The problem is, how do we know that they're telling us the truth? We don't have no lie detector test to know that the information that they're passing to us is the truth. And they've taken great lengths to cover all this shit up. They've changed laws that said you can't lie to your own populace. They've changed them. They've removed the restrictions. So now we believe what they say? Well, we couldn't even believe what they say when they had laws on the books saying that they couldn't lie to us. But now all of a sudden, we can believe what they saying. This whole thing with Puff Daddy could be just another freaking episode of Making of the Bands. See, this is what y'all don't understand. This could be Making of the Bands. This could be chapter 6 of Making of the Bands. Puff Daddy goes to jail. He's a womanizer now. a bounce back, just like they did with Trump. Trump gets assassinated, assassination attempts. Trump goes to prison. Trump gets convicted for 30-something convictions, 30-something felonies. And motherfuckers think that in our Constitution, they support that felonies can run for president. A felon can't even vote. A felon can't even have his Second Amendment rights. How all of a sudden you're going to become a president? I don't give a fuck how much money they say this man got. If he was a 30-something felony person, there would be no way that they can do that. Congress wouldn't even allow it. The Constitution doesn't allow somebody that's a prisoner who can be considered a slave to become president. They don't do that. But we just fall in line and believe this shit because they get these convincing people that look like us, that sound like us, to tell us that it's truth. And then if they don't, look, if you don't believe it, guess what you are? You a conspiracy theorist. Come on, everybody, let's gang up on this nigga and let's scare him off of our platform. Let's rush him out of here. Let's get him rushed up out of here. And that's what they've been doing. They do this shit in real time, right in front of our face. If a nigga's being double teamed by multiple people, right, for a topic or for a reason, I don't believe them niggas just doubling up on them, because it don't take that many people to prove a truth. It only take one person to prove a truth. And all that person have to do to prove a truth is to have proof. It's to have a truth. That's it. And the liar, it could be hundreds, thousands of liars on the same team, and he can put all of them to shame at the same time. But when you got one person telling the truth and you got all of these liars ganging up on him, it makes it hard for the truth to be heard because you got all these motherfuckers screaming. And this is the shit that you need to recognize, because we're allowing this stuff to play out in our real lives. We allow this shit to get put out and allow these people to say, hey, you're a dumbass. You're a conspiracy theorist. You know why? Because we are trying to get into their space and trying to make what they say a lie. Stop chasing them. See, if it's the truth, they're going to chase you. I'm telling you. If you tell them the truth about a motherfucker and everybody's against you, stop being around all of them. Just tell your truth, move patterns. Guess what? Niggas are going to come after you. They're going to come after you. They're either going to come after you with YouTube, or they're going to come after you with their channels and all of their fucking information and all their buddies and shit. They're going to come after you. It's going to be it's going to be a slaughter. And look, you should take that slaughter, you should take that ass whooping as a badge of honor, because you know what? It took a lot of people to coordinate in order to come after you to squash your truth. Now, there's going to be some fringe motherfuckers out there that are just crazy, period. And they're being used, and they're going to have a truth too. And all the people that don't believe in it are going to do the same thing to them. It's like a con game. It's like the shell game. You think it's over here, but it's actually right here. And then I'm palming an extra ball in my hand. So when you think that you got the right one, I'm going to put that ball up under there and I'm going to show you, no, it's right here, dummy. But there's a ball up under the one you thought. See, nobody says turn all of them over at the same time, because you're liable to have a ball up under each one of those shells. And this is what we are failing to do. We are not doing the right thing when we're interviewing, when we're investigating, when we're doing research, because our research material is flawed, man. It's flawed. Our research material is flawed. You can't find anything that's real on the internet no more, especially if you're going through Google and all these other search engines. You got to at least, if you're finding information, you're going to have to proofread that shit. You're going to have to prove that that's real, because I see more information about black people being Indians right now on the internet more than any time I've ever heard in my entire life. Now, why is that possible when the government's involved and everybody's involved in hiding that shit from us? Y'all don't, it's like sometimes shit is too good to be true. And that's almost like a defense mechanism to get you to be like, hold on, we're all moving in the same direction pretty fast. When before they was restricting us. Maybe we running into a big ass sinkhole, because then it don't look like anybody behind me is stopping. And there's too many of us going in the same direction for it to be no resistance. See, and this is the thing. The Indian thing is just like the P-Diddy thing. The P-Diddy thing is just like the Indian thing. Y'all don't even realize. Y'all doing the same thing P-Diddy doing, trying to hide something. And they still trying to hide it because at the end of the day, P-Diddy, whether he's guilty of doing this shit or not, there's no proof. Because if they had proof, they would settle the case a long time ago. I think they fishing for something, and the people that's involved ain't willing to come forward and tell the truth. Same thing with this Indian shit. Same thing. They got black people claiming that they Indians now. When every Indian tribe is a corporate entity, is a business, is some type of government-controlled entity. But we say, well, the government's wrong. The government's wrong. We are the true people. Well, that's okay. I believe that. We are the true people of this land. But we're not the true people of this land with feathers and skins and shit. That's not us. That's not us. That is not us. When you got buildings that were built before the 1900s, right? Still around today. Built before the 1900s. But you got a race or a nation of people that only came about after those buildings were built. How the fuck did those buildings get built then? If the Indians, the ones that we know of as Tonto, Geronimo and all these people, if these people were here, that means that they built those buildings. So why, if they built them, did they decide to become nomads and sleep in tents and wander around and follow animals? Why did they do that? See, because look, ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new under the sun. These people did not build those buildings because you know why? They were built by another people. The same people that was building them when all of this shit started. The same people. See, they say that the slaves built America. Didn't no slaves build America, man. An industrialized people built America. That's why they shit still around here today. If I got a slave building some shit for me, you think he gonna build the shit the way I want it to be built? No, I'm gonna have to whoop his ass to make him lay every fucking brick the way I say he lay it. If not, he gonna sabotage that shit. Just like the prisoners do. Just like the prisoners do. See, in jail, when they have the prisoners making shit, what they do? They don't just make the shit and go back to their cell like everything's cool. Nah, these niggas make shanks, they steal the equipment, they damage the equipment, they set up certain types of missions so they can get out of prison. Man, you cannot force somebody to do something that's hell-bent on being free under bondage. You cannot make them do something. And see, this is the thing that they got us thinking, that they had slaves to build this shit. No, it was an industrialized people. If we invented every fucking thing, right, that we use today, none of this shit would have been around if it wasn't for black people, the black inventors. And some of them inventions were reinventions, that were passed down through generations. The man that created peanut oil, right? He ended up being the creator of something that we didn't even know was coming. He created petrol oil too, because he was able to render something from a solid into a liquid. Just like we do with oil, we're able to render the earth into a liquid that we could use as a fuel, that we could use as a lubricant. So that peanut oil dude was the start of all the shit that's in the petrol industry right now. Same thing with the motherfucker with the textile shit, with the what do you call it? The cotton gin. The cotton gin was the beginning of a whole textile industry. We wearing clothes right now. Versace, we paying $200-300 for a pair of shoes. All of that shit came from that dude right there. The dude that created the cotton gin. And before him, there was another invention that was created that gave him the idea to do it with the cotton gin. It was the same thing when they got ready to separate the grain from the wheat. That's the cotton gin invention before the cotton gin came around. The thing that separated that from the plant, the seed, the germ from the plant, is the same idea that gave that guy to create the cotton gin. And from that, we got the whole textile community. We have people creating clothing. All of that shit was created by black people. Same thing with concrete, same thing with rebar, same thing with blacktop. All of that shit was created by the inventions that were created primitively. And all of those inventions were what? Ours. The street light was created, right? From what? The light bulb. The light bulb was created supposedly by a man that discovered how to harness electricity, but that was a lie too. Because in order to harness the electricity, he had to have the tools. That key that he made, or that he had, that he harnessed the electricity to, was created by a black man. A key and a lock was created by black people. But that's not the point. The point is this right here. If these people were the first people, but they don't know how these buildings got put up here, and the buildings were here before they were discovered, then that lets you know right there that they aren't the people. And all the artifacts that they finding in these burial grounds and in these mines is proof of that. That there were black people here before there were the Indians. Now, why we want to put ourselves on the Indian level when we are, the primary is beyond me. There's some kind of scheme or scam going on that's making people want to claim this. What is the benefit of claiming that you are somebody that's half naked dancing around a fire with feathers on? What is the benefit? And they say, well, Indians are in law. But y'all don't believe in the law. Y'all say the law is fucked up. So there's some type of hypnotic, subliminal manipulation going on with our people. And I think it's going to lead to a sinkhole. We're all running in the same direction, man, and there's no restrictions. I don't see no end to this shit. I don't see a group ahead. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing beneficial ahead. All I know is that we're all traveling the same direction, and we ain't got no restrictions. And we should just slow the fuck down. Stop. Look at our surroundings. Why are we all running in the same direction in the first place? Does it need all of us to be heading in that direction to prove that there's something there? No, it doesn't. See, you can have runners. You can have scouts. Go ahead. And we ain't got no scouts. They want all of us to tribe up. All black people should tribe up. Either in an Indian tribe or some foreign Israeli tribe or some shit like that. They want us all to tribe up. See? And the thing is that when they get us all tribed up, what are we? We are herd. We ain't nothing but a bunch of animals in one spot. And what do they do to the animals? They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can thin the herd. They can inoculate them. You know what I'm saying? They can use us as laborers. They can do all that shit. They can do all of that shit. There's a reason why they're allowing us to do this shit, especially when you can go on the internet and create a tribe. You can create your own tribe out of thin fucking air. No history, no nothing, no ties to no primitive tribe, none of that shit. And just go from there and you're recognized. You're federally recognized. But everybody that's claiming a tribe that's not federally recognized is looked at as a fraud. You know why? Because the only way to be in a tribe, the only way to be part of a tribe, the only way to create a tribe is through government. And that should let you know right there, there had to be government here before any of those tribes started. There had to be government here. And there had to be a previous government there to acknowledge the government that was there that's accepting these tribes. So before the United States was started, there wasn't no government called the United States. But there was a government here in the Americas. All right? And it wasn't no people that was governing your mental like they teaching us that stupid shit. Government means govern your mental. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. The government does one of two things. All right? And they don't even do that well. That's to manage the money. And they mint the money as well. They manage and mint the money. The other thing that they do, I ain't seen them do in a long time, is protect our borders, protect our best interests. I ain't seen them do that in a long time. Those are the two things that they do, but they only do one of it. That's they govern the mints. All right? They have control over the money. If you are getting paid with their money, they can determine where that money goes. They can tell you how to spend it. They can tell you how much you're going to spend on it, on whatever you're going to buy. And they can tell you that you owe them. See? But what we're thinking is they trying to control our mind. No, they not. They just trying to control what we do. That's it. And that's not controlling your mind, because you can think whatever you fucking want to think. It's about what you do with it. And you're only smart as you want to be. And I'll be trying to tell people, if you think you're a smart ass, then why you can't pull yourself up out of the situation you in? Smart asses do that shit without talking about it. So if we can't come up out of this funk that we in, and we think that claiming somebody else's culture is going to do that, then we're massively mistaken. Because if these people can create something and build something out of it, then they can let you have what they done built to get something else. And I hope y'all ain't thinking that these people, just because they got casinos, that they having it better than us. How you think these people make money? Seriously, how you think they make money? If they own a reservation, they not living in the United States. They living in a reserve. They living in a nature reserve. They living in a place where, hey, it's like a tourist attraction. You know what I'm saying? Like a zoo. So the only way the zoos make money, they get money from the state, but their main revenue is from what? It's from selling trinkets, selling goods. You know, getting people to come to the zoo and support an animal. You know what I'm saying? Getting people to come to the zoo and buy a t-shirt. What you think them damn casinos is? When you come to the casino, you are supporting the zoo. Them people ain't got no other means of income. They don't work for the state. They try to do their own governments, and their own governments is fucked up. That should tell you right there. The governments that they create are, man, ain't nothing but a den of thieves. You see what I'm saying? So the money that they getting from these casinos is just money that people come to the zoo to support the animals with. And we look at that like, oh, they making millions and billions, but who is the largest contributor amongst the minorities in America, who's supposed to be 13% of the population, putting out $386 billion a year? If we aren't the apex of freaking, what they call it, the apex of, God damn it, I forgot the motherfucking word. But it's about finance. We are the apex. If it was a jungle of nothing but people that buy shit, right now, black people as a whole would be the biggest animal in the jungle. See, because we are at the height of this shit. All the money we get, we give it right back to them. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But see, we're not using that as a tool. We're using that as a crutch. We don't have no money because you're spending it all. You're doing what exactly supposed to be done with the money. You're spending it. See, but what you're spending it on is a bunch of trinkets. It's like you're going to the zoo, buying these t-shirts and supporting an animal. See, they got us thinking that keeping money in our neighborhoods and all that shit is the way to go. No, man. Spend that money outside of this place. Spend that money away from your home. You don't shit in your living room. You got a room for that. So you don't bring the trash back to the neighborhood and support the neighborhood with the trash. And I'm telling you right now, money is trash. You can't do shit with money besides buy other trash. Now, the certain types of trash can be utilized for different things, right? We can't use cars forever, for 30 years. And the cars you can use for 30 years, they don't have those no more. They don't make them no more. But you can use homes. You can use buildings. See, you can use parks. This is the shit that we should be spending our money on. You know how much a park is worth? And ain't nobody invested in parks. Nobody's investing in parks. Every year, the government gives millions of dollars to up to keep up parks and recreation. Millions of dollars. That money could be coming back to us. But you know what? We rather see the shit go to the waste. See? We rather see the shit get thrown in the trash. Because we allow people to just trash these parks. If you got a park in your neighborhood, you are living in a wealthy environment. Believe me. Because without public assistance, those parks would not exist. And we're talking about millions of dollars. It might not be going to the park, but it's there. Imagine if people took pride in their parks. They can demand that the government give them money to upkeep the parks. Same thing with these national parks. Ain't none of our people using their money to upkeep these national parks and getting a refund for it. Man, I'm telling you, bro. When you see them signs on the highway that says sponsor a highway, man, sponsor a highway can't be no bigger charity. Sponsor a highway is like the biggest charity in America right now. You know why? Because the people that's fixing these highways, they getting paid billions of dollars to just put a Band-Aid on it. They done covered up the real roads. It's still there, still functional. They covered them up with blacktop, with tar. Knowing that shit melts under certain temperatures, certain degrees that occur in nature. Tar melts. They've created a monopoly on how to get paid every fucking year. Large quantities of money by doing shit that the citizens that live there can do. Bro, if you went and you sponsored a highway, right? And you start patching up the roads, just like they tell us that people can do if they find an abandoned home and they fucking start taking care of it. Guess what they do? They become the owner of that home. You can keep yourself financed if you just fill potholes with the shit that's already out there. All the potholes, the shit that they fill the potholes with, look on the sides of the roads and you'll find all of it there. All you got to do is scoop it up, put it back in there, heat it back up, pat it down, smooth it over, and you just now fill the pothole. Do 20 potholes a year and then send the bill to the government. I guarantee they'll be looking at you like, why are you doing this? I'm sponsoring the roads. I'm doing this. And I'm asking for funding. See, the government they don't want no debt. See, they want you to be in debt. If you send them an invoice saying that you fill these many potholes in your neighborhood, guess what they're going to do? They're going to refund you. And you ain't paid for no materials. All you did was fix it. All the materials that you needed was right there on the side of the road. Check out these areas where the potholes at. Walk to the curb, and I guarantee you'll find asphalt and rocks and shit right there on the side of the road. That is the pothole. That is the pothole. Now you get you an industrial vacuum, you go out there and you suck that shit up just like these motherfuckers was doing on the highway out there in Arizona, sucking up catalytic fluid dust, catalytic converter dust. And it was nothing but platinum, gold, and silver. And them niggas was making a killing until the government stepped in and said, nope, you can't be out there on the highway, walking the highways because it's unsafe. It ain't got shit to do with safety. They wanted their trucks out there, them big-ass street sweepers out there, sucking that catalytic converter dust up because guess what? It's billions of dollars in that shit. Billions. And it's already broken down. It's already sifted. It's already ready for you to consume it. All you got to do is just separate it from the dirt. See, they stopped people from cleaning up the highways because they saw the value in it because people were blinded by the fact that anything you do can be fucking worth something. They were blinded by the fact that they couldn't see it. They stopped them guys in Arizona from sucking up that catalytic converter dust. And now guess what they got out there? They got big-ass industrial street sweepers sucking it up. Them motherfuckers is making millions per month sucking up that dust off the highway. See? But ain't nobody paying attention to that shit. And the same thing is going to happen if we just start paying attention to where we spend. Oh, you know what? Don't spend your, I know it's going to sound counterproductive. Don't spend your money in your neighborhood. Don't spend your money in your neighborhood. The longer you keep money in your neighborhood, the poorer your neighborhood going to be. Only a certain amount of people going to be rich. Spend money outside of your neighborhood on the shit that your neighborhood needs. See? Bring business into the neighborhood. Don't support business that's there in the neighborhood, ain't supporting y'all. Who gives a fuck about the corner gas station? Who gives a fuck about that? They ain't giving no money to nobody. But if you go out and you buy gas somewhere else, guess what that's going to make them motherfuckers do? They're going to be like, God damn, the neighborhood ain't even paying for gas here no more. Maybe I should do some other shit besides rip people off at the fucking pumps. See, you want your gas to go down in your neighborhood? Stop buying gas there. Buy gas somewhere else and watch them motherfuckers lower the price of gas. Buy gas somewhere else outside of your neighborhood and watch your gas go down. When they start losing millions of dollars a day because they're not selling no gas, and they see these other counties outside of the city selling gas, they will lower their prices because there's no set gas price in America. These prices are all set by the people that's selling it. It's all set. And they gotta deal with each other. They like this. I can't set my gas too high and yours be that low, because then people will be like, you know what? He's cheating us, and go to you. So we gotta keep our cheating at a certain limit. You know what? If I say we can raise our gas to $5 a gallon and you say no because we only spending $1 a barrel for oil and gas, we should raise it to $3. That's not good. You need to be somewhere around my ballpark. 440, 450, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere around there. That way it doesn't seem obvious that I'm just fucking people. See, and this is what spending your money in your neighborhood does. Because believe it or not, we do the same thing these other races are doing to us. We fuck each other over. We fuck each other over. So fuck spending your money locally. Fuck spending your money with your people. If you want better prices, spend your money outside of your community and let them watch everybody else get rich, and then they'll stop their fucking cheating ass ways and they'll lower prices, and then it'll become even. It'll be an even playing field. Because some of the prices that our own people are charging us is fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. How you got a restaurant and your plates are the same price as high expensive restaurant, but you the only restaurant. You ain't got no chain. Nigga, you ain't even got no prestige enough to say that you are owed that much money for the shit that you cooking. See? McDonald's got more prestige than you. They're worldwide, nigga. You just over here in our neighborhood and you charging us 20, 30 bucks for a fucking plate? What's wrong with you, nigga? You only paying like $5 for the meat and a couple dollars for the beans and rice and shit, nigga. But you want to charge that much. Your cooking technique is that great? Then you should be working for the fucking government, man. We're going to work for the fucking government. See? What I see is a bunch of dummies running around this bitch trying to play like they are smart. And the smart shit to do is stop fucking with the smart asses. Stop fucking with these entrepreneurs. Fuck them entrepreneurs. See, because they figured out that once you become a boss, you can make the price all you want. Fuck a black entrepreneur. Fuck all of these guys. They are not helping us. So fuck, they move into the community, they come back and they open up a business in the community. Who gives a fuck? All you did was made your pockets fatter, not the community. And then you come around and act like, yeah, I'm giving back. No, you're not giving back, nigga, because if you was giving back, you would be in competition with the other motherfuckers outside of the community instead of being in competition with the community. Ain't no way you live in a black city, right? And your gas is the same as a white city. Why the fuck are you even saying you helping the black community? Nigga, if gas outside of your community is $5, your gas should be at least $2 in the neighborhood, in the hood, nigga. Because you know this is a poverty-stricken area, but you still gonna charge the same amount? And this is what niggas don't understand. They allowing this shit to happen. They even promoting it. They even saying, hey, yeah, we get back to the... No, you're not, man. No, you're not. So I'm just saying, man, this Indian shit is the same as this Puff Daddy shit because they all fucking fake. They all fake. Ain't nothing but a bunch of trannies running around whooping on each other, fucking claiming that they a real person. You know, it sounds biased. It sounds racist when you say this shit because this is the type of mentality they put into us. It's not racist to prefer to be natural. It's not racist. What's racist is trying to make somebody agree to something that they don't want to agree to. Like we inferior and you're not. You know what I'm saying? That's racist. Because see, nobody's inferior to anybody. And what we need to understand is that people only do what other people allow them to do. People only do what people allow them to do. If you're running around this bitch and you're trying to become a business owner, you shouldn't be trying to do it in your neighborhood. Why the fuck you trying to be a business in your neighborhood? Nigga, you supposed to be in competition with other neighborhoods, with other cities, with other towns. You need to go and put your business in a thriving neighborhood, in a thriving town, right? And put them fucking rich ass motherfuckers out of business because you make better materials. You got cheaper prices. But no, you want to start right in the fucking hood where ain't nothing there, where everybody's already oppressed, where everybody's fucked up. And then you want to charge them the same shit these rich motherfuckers is charging everybody else. You're not helping. You contributing to they fucking shit. You contribute. So fuck entrepreneurs, fuck black businesses, fuck all of them because they just like the Puff Daddy and the Indian shit. They just like it. Just like it. And on that